Okay, in this video we're going to talk about figuring out the drilling angles on this chair, this frame assembly, which has no rake or splay in the front legs. So no rake, straight up and down, but this leg rakes backward. So on the front, 90-degree angle between the rung and the leg. Both rungs are the same length. On the side, the angle between the side rungs and the front leg is 90 degrees viewed this way, but not from the top. And the angle from the side rungs to the rear leg, there's an, what do you call that?
Obtuse.
Obtuse angle right there, or acute angle right there. And so this leg rakes backward. Each of these rungs is a different length. On the rear panel, the legs splay side to side. So, but there is no, so this angle is 90 degrees. No, it's not. It's more than 90. Mm-hmm. And these two rungs are different lengths. So not 90, not 90, different lengths. Compared to our first chair, our first assembly, where all the legs were straight up and down. Again, the similarity is, can you see both of these?
You can.
You can?
Yep.
Okay. So the front panels actually, aside from the drilling angles for the side rungs, if you just look at the front panels before we drill for the side rungs, the front panels are identical.
That's the back.
Oh, sorry. We're pretty close to the same. Front panels are identical, same rung lengths. From the front, legs go straight up and down. And also from the side, legs go straight up and down. So the front panels match exactly. The difference between these two chairs really is the rungs on the side and the rear below this level, which is where the seat would go. And again, just to remind you, these two chairs at the seat level are identical. Rung lengths are identical. These rung lengths are identical at the seat level. This chair, one more time, this chair has one trapezoid. That's the only trapezoid we need to figure out the drilling angles for this assembly. This chair, now this frame is the same frame. If you cut the armchair off above the top rungs, this frame would match this frame. And the only difference is I didn't taper the legs in here so we can get a better read of the drilling angles. But the rung lengths and are identical on this from this chair. So this is an actual assembly just without the top. So this chair has, I believe, 4 or 5 trapezoids. So we have the same trapezoid that we did on the simpler chair with no rake or splay at the seat rungs, at the top rungs, same trapezoid. But at this level, at the level of these lower rungs, we have a different trapezoid, which would be, if I could slide this in there, this would be the trapezoid, and I can show you the difference. This is the trapezoid at the lower rung level, and this is the trapezoid at the seat level. Remember, the front legs have no splay, so they're the same distance. They start with the same distance here, but the seat level does not go back as far on the top as it does on the bottom, and it also does not spread out as far. So the trapezoid created at these lower rungs is a unique trapezoid compared to this one. And in fact, any elevation above the workbench, any elevation above the bench with this construction will give you a unique trapezoid. So you have to have a method of measuring for this one, and we talked about that a little bit I can't simply measure center to center here, but I do know the rung length, and from the rung length, there's easy calculation from the rung length, tenon length, and leg diameter. You can figure out what the center to center dimension is of each side, and you can draw a trapezoid from that. And that's how I drew that large trapezoid. So that's trapezoid number 2.
So one thing I'm noticing here is that this edge of the trapezoid is equal.
Yes.
And so because this has no rake, no splay, it should always be the same distance apart.
Yeah, top or bottom.
And that plays out because in the rungs, because these two rungs are exactly the same length.
So the place where we're different is as we go down the chair, the legs get wider and further away from the front legs. Cool. The rear legs get wider as we go down, further away from the front leg. Again, unique trapezoid at every Morse location, at every elevation above the bench. This is bottom of the legs. So what we didn't measure was the middle rung, the trapezoid for the middle rung. In this case, the middle rung is halfway between the front rung and the rear rung, the top rung and the bottom rung. So we just split the difference. It's
because it's a straight line. You can.
We don't have to draw a new trapezoid. From the trapezoids, we get those riser blocks, like we use in the simple construction. So if you have a riser block that's this high and a riser block that's this high for the front legs and one that's this high for the rear legs, the middle rung would be halfway in between. A third trapezoid will be for the splay of the rear legs. And that will be this one. And imagine, so this when you put a whole chair together, it cants things out of whack a little bit, like the bottom of these legs are up. And just imagine that this edge goes right through the center of this rung and goes to the center of the leg. This line goes through the center of the lower rung here, and center to center of the legs. The difference in length here, from here, is 3/4 of an inch overall. On each side, the difference in length, if you drop a vertical straight down, the difference here is 3/8 of an inch. In rise and run, that would be the rise. This 3/8 inch is the rise angle, and the run is from here to here, which comes off of the story stick. It's a predetermined dimension. So the rung lengths are predetermined, the run is predetermined, and then we just have to figure out the rise. So this angle is 3/8 over 4 5/8. And if you extend this vertical line straight down and measure at 12 inches from the top down to here, 12 inches, and measure that, you'll get 1 inch. That's the rise that we then use for our platform jig to hold this part in a way that will get these parallel to the bench top when the legs are splayed like that. So I can show you. So if you set maybe a little hard to see, but if I set this at the top, you might want to hold on to this.
Sure. So I'm going to rotate it a little bit out.
Hold that onto the top, and then set that in there, and you can see we have a 12-inch run, and this riser block is 1 inch. That's where this comes from. That's how we figure out the height of this riser block. And I'll show you how this gives us the correct angle once we get to that. Okay. So this is the third trapezoid in this chair. And we have one more trapezoid, and that is the rake of the rear legs. I'm not sure if this is half a trapezoid or and non-equilateral, but this, if you draw a line, if you were at the center, you draw a line in the center, straight down. This line goes through the top rung. This line goes through the bottom rung, and this angle here, this dimension here, from here to here, would be the rise. This would be the run, and then we can again apply that to the set of things that we need for drilling at this angle. And the thing that we apply to is a platform. When we're drilling the side rungs into the rear legs, we're going to have to take this off. So we're just going to rotate this whole trapezoid 90 degrees. And if I take this edge and align it with that vertical, there's my angle for the platform. And we'll get into this. I'm going to show you how I use this platform, but this is where the angle of the platform comes from. All of these angles and all these jigs, riser blocks, platforms, all of this is coming off of rise and run measurements off the chair.
So we still haven't taken a degree measurement.
No degree
once.
measurement.
Yeah. Okay.
I do happen to know what this angle is in degrees, but it's irrelevant.
Right.
Well, like for the bar stool, has rake in the rear legs, but not nearly as much. So it wouldn't match this at all.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, in bar stool is much taller, you wouldn't want the legs raking, they'd be way out there. So again, all rise and run to figure that out. So 4 trapezoids to do the drilling on this chair.
So you just figure out one here, one here, one here, one here, and you can describe any angle at any location, up or down. You just have to move it along the rise and run.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so we're gonna knock this chair apart and go through it step by step.
As if we were building it.
As if we were doing the rung horsing.
Great.